Great North Woods to the Rock-On Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a look back at Veterans Day celebrations around the state, including the return of a special parade in Bangor.
Plus, the ranked choice vote tabulation for the 2nd Congressional District starts today in Augusta. And with wildfires burning from coast to coast, forecasters say that the current windy conditions could lead to even more fires. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories coming up in just a few moments, but first to check the forecast, and it's not really going to help with the drought conditions here in Maine, the wildfire danger. It does look like we'll be receiving a little bit of rain, but for the most part, things will be clearing out. Good news for folks that don't like the rain, but God, we really could use it. It's so dry right now. Yeah. It's definitely an issue. Let's get a look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until Wednesday at around the noon time frame because of active surf that will be expected in those areas during that time. Meanwhile, on land this morning, as expected, we have some rain showers that are passing through this morning, tracking from the west. And going toward the east, some cold air will also be wrapping in, so that may cause a few of these to change over to a few snowflakes before it clears out of here later on this morning. Let's zoom things out right now. We have the area low pressure located right about in here, tracking off to the east. We'll get this out of here, and then later this afternoon, things will start to calm down under that mostly cloudy sky. So here's what we got. A few more rain and snow showers calming down later this afternoon and into the evening time frame. Just still, the gusty winds will linger later on tonight into parts of Wednesday morning. As for the winds out there, we got gusty winds reaching up to 35 miles per hour at times. Notice those gusty winds continue overnight as well. They'll gradually start to calm down as we head towards tomorrow. But for today, here's what we got. Mid-40s, some morning rain and snow showers, then becoming mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, with that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s, becoming mostly clear and windy, north wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing that mostly cloudy sky with a little bit less cloud cover for the afternoon as the rain and snow showers wrap up for the afternoon. Temperatures falling this afternoon into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Devin. We'll have a look at that full 5-day a little later on. Well, all across our nation, we paused yesterday and today to honor and remember those who have served our country and defended our freedom. We start our Veterans Day coverage at the Department of Veterans Affairs Togus campus, where yesterday morning, veterans and caregivers were honored for their service and sacrifice. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard has the story.
Your service and sacrifice delivered all our rights and freedoms, including the right for us to come together on this very special day.
Tracy Davis is the Medical Center Director for the Department of Veterans Affairs in Maine. Every year they hold a ceremony to mark Veterans Day and honor those who served.
It's an opportunity for us to come together as VA employees, our VA patients, our VA community, but also the general community as well, to all pay tribute to the services and sacrifices that veterans have made for our country.
An honor guard from Kennebec County veterans presented the colors, and those in attendance heard from Davis and Maine's congressional delegation, including Senator Angus King, who says, despite a hyper-partisan climate in D.C., veterans issues always have and always should be something that unites us.
We've got a lot of work left to do. We've still got homeless veterans in Maine. I visited with some folks just 2 weeks ago, 135 or perhaps somewhat more homeless veterans. We should abolish the term homeless veterans. It shouldn't exist. And we've got medical care needs that are still facing us. We have long-term care needs, one of the most serious needs for our veterans as they age.
Another aspect of the ceremony was honoring family caregivers of veterans whose work is so important for the quality of life of their loved ones. One special caregiver, Tammy Dempsey, received a challenge coin for her work providing care for her husband.
I think honoring Tammy was incredibly important for me personally. She is married to a Marine veteran who made incredible sacrifices for our country, but she also made tremendous sacrifices as a caregiver. And sometimes people don't always see that or recognize it. And I felt it was important to recognize all of what she has done here on Veterans Day.
In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Governor Mills recognized Veterans Day by releasing the following statement, quote, "Maine veterans teach us, all of us, to cherish our rights and to remember those who gave their lives for these freedoms. They teach us to remember that our sons and daughters today stand ready to defend those very rights in postings across the globe. They teach us the strong sense of responsibility that comes from hard work and hard times. They teach us honor, dignity, and service. This Veterans Day, I encourage all Maine people to thank a service member and to honor the rights and freedoms those service members have fought for."
And on the coast, Belfast's Veterans Day celebrations honored our troops while inspiring younger generations. Our Callie Warren has the story.
Even though we've hung up our uniforms, we're still serving. We're still serving our communities. We're still serving the people of our town.
The people of Belfast gathered to recognize veterans on Monday.
Veterans Day in Belfast is a day where we honor all veterans.
Watching the parade processions from the waterfront and pausing to honor veterans living and dead.
The true cost of that freedom is a price most can't even fathom.
For Belfast's VFW,
we're fortunate enough to do the VFW SA Awards.
An integral part of the day is uplifting Waldo County's youth.
And just having kids share their opinion. Some of the greatest ideas are born from kids in middle school and high schools.
Even if you might not be the best writer, you have good judgment and good opinions. And everyone wants to hear your voice.
I worked for something and I finally got what I worked for. So if you really want to do something, then make sure you do it and work hard for it.
After the public Veterans Day events officially ended, vets gathered at Belfast's American Legion to raise a toast to fallen heroes and celebrate the monumental day with their community.
People can choose to have the day off because we live in a free country. They can come to a parade, they can support veterans, but more importantly, us veterans can get together and support those who didn't come back.
In Belfast,
Happy Veterans Day from Belfast!
Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Hundreds also lined the streets of Brewer and Bangor Monday for the return of the annual Veterans Day Parade. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
Happy Veterans Day!
The sounds of marching, music, and cheers rang through the area as veterans and parade participants marched from Brewer to Bangor once again this Veterans Day.
It's really cool to see how everyone comes out and supports everyone.
Mainers of all ages came out to celebrate and honor those who served.
Both of my boys are, one is serving in the Air Force, one was served in the Marines, and bringing my granddaughter to see the parade and support the veterans.
Some veterans have been walking in this parade for as long as they can remember.
Every one of them. Yeah, I don't think I've missed a parade since I started working for Coles Museum. We like to be recognized. If we don't get recognized, we're going to be forgotten.
For many who served, today is often a day of reflection.
Today I'm thinking about some of my friends I was with and some of my friends that didn't make it home. So today is a day of remembrance for some of them. So.
For others, it's a chance to give thanks.
I really like our community in Bangor, and I'm grateful for living here.
I'm really grateful that they keep our little town safe and that we're all able to be here and safe.
In Brewer and Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Over in Ellsworth, members of the Ellsworth Elks Lodge spent the day cooking and serving free meals for veterans. The lodge offered breakfast, lunch, and dinner for anyone who served in the armed forces and their families. Donations were also accepted. Any proceeds gathered will be shared with veterans in the Ellsworth area.
I've been there before, veteran in need, and we're going to be there for everybody that we can and do the best we can. Yeah, absolutely.
In addition to the meals, the Elks Lodge also held a heating fuel raffle.
Flags were flying in Herman as motorists made their way to work on Monday morning. A handful of Herman residents met on the I-95 overpass on the Newburgh Road to proudly wave the American and state of Maine flags on Veterans Day. A flag wave like this one is held in different locations in Hermon throughout the year by different groups of people. The folks we spoke with did not let the rain dampen their desire to celebrate living in the land of the free.
This is the second time we've done it. We did it the day after the election, and we're doing it today to honor our heroes. And numerous people are honking their horns. It's fabulous.
Well, Danielle Haggerty says the group wanted to do the flag wave early in the morning so they could be seen by those heading into work or over to the Bangor Brewer Veterans Day Parade.
All right, the time now is 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the sewage pipe that led to 150,000 gallons of waste being dumped into the Kennebec River has finally been repaired.
We'll have the story coming up, but first another check of that weather forecast. It looks like a cloudy day today with just a chance of rain and snow this morning. Otherwise, things will be clearing out with a high near 46 degrees. Mostly clear and windy tonight, lows dropping down to the mid-20s. Tomorrow, sunny and windy with highs near 41. We'll be right back.
As a child, you just couldn't keep me out of the puddles. That's where the acorn essentially was planted. As we got started, we had nothing in the bank. We were cash poor. That was just a one-man show. The support of my credit union, starting the business, the banking advice, you can call them and they're there for you. That's tremendous. It's been a great asset for me and for my company's growth. It's really an exciting time, and my credit union made that possible.
Come stop by Triple S Tax Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Opa, a Greek Mediterranean dining experience like no other, serving the finest of Greek dishes in central Maine. Let executive chef Gage Derbyshire prepare your food while you enjoy a drink. Opa, it's all Greek to me.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
A church in Dover-Foxcroft is on a mission to reduce its carbon footprint.
Church does evolve. Church is not stuck in one place. Our mindset doesn't stay in the same place because we're always learning and growing.
We'll share the story tonight on Fox 22 News at 10.
UCLA. My goodness! Takes on Washington. Touchdown, Huskies. Fox College Football Friday kicks off at 9 Eastern.
Investigators continue the search for answers following a deadly fire at a Bangor homeless encampment. It was Sunday night when a fire broke out inside a tent at the Camp Hope encampment. Fire crews and police responded to the scene and found a person dead at the scene. The man's body was taken to the chief medical examiner's office where he'll be positively identified. The cause of the fire still under investigation. The city of Bangor is currently working on a plan to close that camp by December 31st.
A sewage line in Winslow is repaired after a rupture late last month dumped nearly 150,000 gallons of raw sewage into the Kennebec River. Brad Rogers looks at how it happened, how long it took to fix the rupture, and why cleaning up the spill isn't an option.
All of the untreated sewage from the town of Winslow is pumped across the river to the sewage treatment plant in Waterville. Workers were in the process of laying a new sewage line beneath the river when a barge hit and ruptured the old pipeline, which was still in use. Town leaders say the rupture happened back on October 22nd when pipeline workers were on a barge resting on just 2 feet of water.
The barge accidentally hit one of the pipes. Luckily, it didn't break it in half because if it had broke completely, there'd have been a lot more down the river.
Winslow's public works director estimates 150,000 gallons of raw sewage spilled into the Kennebec River before divers could repair the damage 30 hours later.
Call in divers and and whatever, and they got it fixed.
The deputy commissioner for Maine's Department of Environmental Protection says unfortunately there is no cleanup that is feasible in terms of recovering any sewage that was discharged into the river. Carol Ogle, whose home is on Winslow's sewage system, says a week later she got home from a trip and discovered sewage in her basement.
When I came back, though, I smelled something, and then by the next day, I went down and looked. So I had sewage in my basement.
She still doesn't know if the two spills were related. Councilor Dale Macklin says they kept using the ruptured line because about 90% of the sewage still reached the treatment plant. He also says it would have been far worse had they allowed sewage to back up into homes and businesses.
There would have been a lot of backup or a lot of sewerage in the river, one or the other.
Workers have since finished putting in the new underwater sewage lines.
The new lines are in, finally. It needed to be replaced years ago.
Yeah, so far so good.
So for now, the old pipeline is patched, repaired, and back in use. No word yet on when they plan to switch to the new pipeline.
Brad Rogers reporting. In other news, the ranked choice voting tabulation in the race for Maine's 2nd Congressional District is scheduled for today in Augusta. The Office of the Secretary of State announced last Friday the race would go to a ranked choice vote count. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows said in part, quote, under Maine election law, blanks may well include write-ins for someone other than the 3 official candidates. Given that more than 12,000 voters made a first choice that was not either Congressman Golden or Representative Theriault, it is mathematically possible that the second choices of those voters could change the outcome. For that reason, the law requires that we proceed with the ranked choice voting tabulation. Well, as it stands, Democrat incumbent Jared Golden has a narrow lead of just over 700 votes, more than Republican challenger Austin Theriault. The ranked choice voting tabulation is open to the public. The count will begin at 1 p.m. this afternoon in the Florian Room at the Maine Department of Public Safety in Augusta. It will also be live streamed through the Secretary of State's YouTube page, so if you're interested, anyone can watch it as it happens.
The Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry in Ellsworth is looking for some extra help ahead of the holiday season. The mostly volunteer-driven organization says they need help with everything from picking up donations from grocery stores to greeting clients as they walk through the door.
You will come in and you'll be partnered up with a buddy and they'll show you what to do. I will say this, I started as the volunteer truck driver, driving the pantry truck to pick stuff up, but it's a really fun group. Like we all come to this work from different points of view in different places in life, but we're a really nice batch of volunteers.
According to the Board of Trustees member Max Deach, the pantry serves over 5,000 people throughout all of Hancock County, and the holiday season is always busy. To learn more or to volunteer, head to loavesandfishesellsworth.org. All right, the time now is 8:18. After the break, with fires still burning on both coasts, forecasters are warning that the windy and dry conditions could lead to more wildfires.
We'll have the latest on the conditions coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Tell the insurance company you mean business. Call Joe Bornstein, right now.
Call the firm that has been getting justice for Mainers for 50 years. If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe.
With the almost unavoidable political ads in an already hectic world, the kitchen people at Atlantic Designs would like to offer you this moment of zen. Your dream kitchen awaits with the kitchen people at Atlantic Designs.
Bent finger appointment in 30 minutes.
You got this. 1, remember, I don't want surgery for my Dupuytren's contracture. 2, I don't want to wait for my contracture to get worse. 3, I want a treatment with minimal downtime. 4, I want a non-surgical treatment. And 5,
and if non-surgical treatment isn't offered?
I'll get a second opinion. Let's go.
Take charge of your treatment. If you can't lay your hand flat, visit findahandspecialist.com to get started.
Does your vehicle need a little more work? Have an odd sound coming from somewhere? Bring it over to Jackson's Automotive in Old Town. We have the best technicians and offer a fair price. We also accept all aftermarket protection plans. Now, if you're unable to drive your vehicle to us, we can help you get it here. Also, if you'd like to protect your vehicle for years to come, we offer Wool Wax undercarriage protection. We're located at 546 Main Street in Old Town. Give us a call at 827-2676.
I was hurt in a bad motorcycle accident, and I was laid up for a couple months.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call Joe today for a free case evaluation.
I'm really grateful they won my case for me.
Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Firefighters on both coasts are battling flames as of yesterday as gusty winds fueled dozens of wildfires. Forecasters warn the conditions could spark more fires in California this week.
Fox News senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse has more.
Dry air and gusty winds creating a perfect storm of fire conditions. In New Jersey, crews
When we come back, we'll have more of the day's news. Don't go away.
Poor insulation is the origin of your heating and cooling complications. We are Dr. Energy Saver by TC Hafford Basement Systems. We are the local energy saving experts. We identify the problem areas and provide customized solutions that leave your home comfortable and your energy bills affordable. Whether it's a drafty attic or poorly sealed ductwork, we have your back and more. Financing is available. For a no-cost, no-obligation estimate, call Dr. Energy Saver by TC Hafford Basement Systems. We fix uncomfortable homes.
The insurance company wants nothing more than to deny your claim.
Deny.
Meet John.
Delay.
The adjuster. He sticks
Deny.
to the 3 Ds.
Delay. Deny. No. Devalue.
And if he does have to pay, it's often with a very tiny check.
At first I was going to delay, and then I thought, no. Denied.
They called the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Maybe we should settle this one.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
The first time you try Bounce, it hits you. Your laundry feels way fresher, softer. So you start to wonder, if I put a sheet of Bounce on the finance guy, will it make him softer? Bounce can't do it all. But for better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, chances are you have a lot of questions. Norm Prouty has answers. Learn some tips and tricks and explore some beautiful new homes on the market. The Norm Prouty and Donnell Baker Real Estate Show, Sunday mornings at 8:30 on Fox 22.
The CMA Awards are coming to ABC 7. As the big night approaches, test your knowledge of your favorite country music stars. Visit WVII.com, click on Contests and Giveaways, and pick the winners for a chance to win a modest local prize. And don't forget to tune in to the 58th Annual CMA Awards on November 20th on ABC 7. Our local contest is brought to you by Bennett's Gems and Jewelry on Route 1 in Belfast, next to Perry's Nut House.
Ye Old General, located in Carmel, has everything you could ever need. Whether it be kerosene, regular or ethanol-free gasoline, wood pellets, a fresh-cooked pizza, or fried food, they've got you covered. Looking to get a stiff drink after work? Ye Old General is an agency liquor store with a great selection of alcohol. Ye Old General can help with your next home project, carrying carpentry supplies from hammers and nails to specialty nuts and bolts. They have what you need to get the job done. Stop by Ye Old General today. If you don't think they'll have it, they probably do.
This year, take the time to melt into your holiday moments with Lindor. Irresistibly smooth chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
All right, welcome back. We're having some computer problems here. So one of them suddenly crashed, and we depend on computers these days. Tell you what, let's pick things up where we left off, and we'll have the latest on the wildfires that are raging in some states this morning.
Dry air and gusty winds creating a perfect storm of fire conditions. In New Jersey, crews battled the Jennings Creek fire, now more than 3,000 acres.
There's a combination of meteorological conditions as well as fuel conditions, which we would say is dry vegetation, dead leaves, dead grasses.
Light rain helped overnight, but it didn't last. Thick clouds of smoke carried into New York, prompting officials to issue a health advisory.
Yeah, there's definitely a smell of smoke.
I smell the smoke, like the burning smoke, the after effect after a fire. It's really bad.
Meanwhile, calmer weather allowed crews in Southern California to gain more control over the mountain fire in Ventura County. Since igniting last week, it scorched more than 20,000 acres and damaged or destroyed more than 220 structures. Some evacuees returned home to find nothing left.
There was a motorcycle in the garage, no sign of it anywhere. Just so many things like that just gone.
Officials say strong winds in the forecast could fuel more fires this week and urge Californians to be prepared.
You also want to have a go bag by your door, so if you have to leave in a moment's notice, that all you have to do is, as you're leaving the door, pick that up, put it in your car.
Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency in Ventura County. As of Monday morning, the fire is 36% contained. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Right now, let's move right along and get a look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until noon on Wednesday because active surf will be expected as we get some gusty winds going today. And those wave heights are increasing at around 3 feet according to the buoys, but farther out towards sea, we have 6 to even 9 feet being observed there. So we will have to watch that as we do move forward in time, as the wave heights will also be increasing for us. But meanwhile, here's what we got. We got rain showers tracking from the west and going toward the east this morning along an area of low pressure that is rotating through. It is pulling cold air in from the north, so that may help to change a little bit of this over to a little bit of snow before it does track off toward the east. Then things will start to calm down later on this afternoon, but the clouds will linger for the rest of the day. But notice the system right about in here. Notice a lot of nothing right behind it, so things will start to calm down for us once we get the system out of here. So futurecast moving forward, we'll be watching out for the last of the rain and snow to get out of here. The clouds break up later on today and the parts of this evening. But the gusty winds, notice the isobars stay stacked. So that means gusty winds continue overnight tonight under that mostly clear sky. And even in the parts of tomorrow morning, watching out for a lot of sunshine, but still some gusty winds at times too. But those winds will gradually start to calm down slowly but surely throughout the day Wednesday. And then by Wednesday night, a little bit calmer out there, but still maybe a little bit of a breeze at times as we remain relatively clear. So maybe a little bit of additional rainfall and maybe some melted down snow as this all passes through, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch further off towards the north of additional rainfall and melted down snow, but really that's about it. Nothing too major on the way from here on out. But again, we do have gusty winds to watch out for, and those could reach up to about 35 miles per hour, even 40 miles per hour at times. But then those gusts will start to back off a little bit later on tonight to about 25 miles per hour or so. But then notice those gusty winds continue tomorrow up to around 25 miles per hour at times. So otherwise, though, our average high temperature is 47 degrees. We've already hit our high temperature in the mid-40s or so today, but now we're going to be cooling off in the lower 40s or so for the rest of the day, and then maybe even some 30s later on this afternoon to the evening time frame. Well, then we remain in the lower 40s Wednesday into Thursday. Then Friday we're back in the mid-40s. Saturday upper 40s, lower 50s return Sunday and also into your Monday. So your forecast coming up for today, middle 40s. We're going to cool off for the rest of the day too. Some morning rain and snow switching over to a mostly cloudy sky, and the northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. We cool off into the mid-20s tonight, mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Tomorrow, lower 40s, lots of sunshine, also windy. North wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour at times. Let's check out your extended forecast here, showing lots of sunshine Thursday with highs in the low 40s. Some more rain and snow Friday, switching over to all rain with highs in the mid-40s. Upper 40s Saturday with a chance for rain showers yet again.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Well, moving on to other news now. Florida's governor is demanding an investigation after FEMA officials admitted a supervisor instructed emergency relief workers in Florida to avoid homes with pro-Trump political signs. That was in the wake of Hurricane Milton last month. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell says that supervisor responsible has been fired and has been called to testify before Congress on the matter next week. Following the leaked text that told workers to avoid homes advertising Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the state is launching its own investigation into what he calls the weaponization of government by partisan activists. The mayor of Lake Placid, Florida, said he was stunned that as many as 20 damaged homes were apparently skipped over by emergency relief workers due to Trump signs or flags. FEMA officials have called this an isolated incident, but critics are concerned that the problem could be much bigger.
Less than a week after Election Day, President-elect Trump's new cabinet is starting to form. Susie Wiles, a longtime advisor and political consultant who will become the country's first female chief of staff, and other high-profile selections are showing some of the top priorities of the next administration. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Voters cited immigration as one of the top issues that convinced them to back Donald Trump. And now he's chosen former acting ICE director Tom Homan to be his border czar.
Public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority because they have to be. They pose the most danger to this country. So we're going to prioritize those groups.
Longtime advisor, speechwriter, and immigration hardliner Stephen Miller has been named a deputy chief of staff. Some Democrats are already digging in their heels for a fight over immigration policies.
Stephen Miller and Tom Homan were the architects of a lot of the first Trump administration horrific immigration policies. And so family separation, mass detentions, those kinds of things is what was promised and by the Trump administration.
A vocal Trump supporter in Congress, New York Representative Elise Stefanik will be the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik has been a staunch supporter of Israel and has criticized some of the UN's stances on the war in the Middle East. And while others line up for key spots, Trump is calling on the next leader of the Senate to fast-track them.
What we have seen in the last number of administrations, including the former Trump administration, is that we stalled out anytime we were trying to get the appointments done in a timely manner. This is incredibly important.
Monday, former New York Representative Lee Zeldin confirmed that Trump picked him to lead the EPA. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Flights headed to Haiti are halted after a Spirit Airlines plane was hit by what appears to be a gunfire. Airlines in the U.S. canceled all flights to the country on Monday following the incident, and JetBlue says it will extend its halt on flights to Haiti until December 2nd. A Spirit Airlines flight was set to land in the capital of Port-au-Prince, but was diverted to the Dominican Republic after it suffered damage from suspected bullets. One flight attendant reported an injury, and the capital's airport was temporarily closed. Spirit says the damaged plane is now out of service, and it has canceled all other Haiti-bound flights as it investigates that incident.
2024 is on track to be the hottest year on record. That's the word from the World Meteorological Organization, the WMO, at the COP29 summit in Azerbaijan on Monday. Secretary General Celeste Saulo adding that the decade between 2015 and 2024 will be the warmest on record, saying the results of melting glaciers, rising sea levels, and extreme weather are creating havoc for economies around the world. Earlier this month, the European climate service Copernicus announced the world was on pace for a warming of 1.5 degrees. And this year is heading to become the hottest year in human civilization. All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, Ed Hendrickson, a World War II veteran of Brewer, is turning 104 this year. And for his birthday, he's asking for donations to the Bangor Humane Society.
We'll hear from him coming up on Good Morning Maine.
People ask me all the time, are those commercials really true? Does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. We really have gotten millions of dollars for Mainers hurt by commercial vehicles. And the insurance companies know when you call the twos, we're going to fight for you. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the Twos. We win for you.
As a child, you just couldn't keep me out of the puddles. That's where the Acorn essentially was planted. As we got started, we had nothing in the bank. We were cash poor. That was just a one-man show. The support of my credit union, starting the business, the banking advice, when you can call them and they're there for you, that's tremendous. It's been a great asset for me and for my company's growth. It's really an exciting time, and my credit union made that possible.
The future of cool, comfortable sleep is here. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed, the only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. It actively cools by drawing warm air away from your body to keep you cool and comfortable throughout the night. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus up to $500 off an adjustable base. Shop a Sleep Number store near you.
Black Friday starts now at the Furniture Gallery. We're bringing you the best deals of the year. Save 10% store-wide. That's on top of our everyday low prices. Incredible savings in all categories. Want a mattress with an adjustable base? It's 10% off. How about a new sofa and love seat? 10% off. Need a new recliner or lift chair? 10% off. Plus, save up to 70% on all in-stock clearance items at the Furniture Gallery. Support our main family-owned business and save money at the Furniture Gallery.
Colorado takes on Utah. Big noon Saturday on Fox.
Welcome back, folks. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, and it is also Chicken Soup for the Soul Day.
Might not be what you expect.
No.
This is a day for exploring and unpacking deep-rooted emotional issues and searching for inspiration to lead more fulfilling lives. When we put it like that, it's not very fun and exciting.
No, it isn't. Yeah.
Nobody can solve all of their problems without help or inspiration from their surroundings. The purpose of Chicken Soup for the Soul Day is to take a fresh approach to thinking about problems. It can help find creative solutions that can address underlying issues, which many are normally not willing to confront.
So maybe if you're in a bit of a rut and you've just been going through it and spinning your wheels, this is a day to maybe take some positive actions to get out of that rut.
Yeah, they say growth is not linear. We all progress at different paces, and sometimes it feels really linear for a long time.
Yeah.
So, whatever you can do, therapy, is an option. Medication is an option. All sorts of options out there for folks that aren't those as well. You can take other routes as well, but those are kind of the commonly acceptable options.
Yeah, bacon cheeseburgers help too. It helps me anyway.
Yes.
I'm feeling down.
They help me too, but I tend to turn to food as a coping method, so that's going to be an issue too.
It's better to seek, the right kind of help and advice.
Yeah, if you turn to a bacon cheeseburger every time,
don't do what I do, because that's why I am the mess I am. Extra fries,
it's
please.
better than other things, though. I'm not shaming that.
It is. All right. Time for some history. It was on this day in history back in 1927. Joseph Stalin became the undisputed ruler of the Soviet Union after Leon Trotsky was expelled from the Communist Party. In 1933 in Philadelphia, the very first Sunday football game was played. I imagine it was controversial at the time when it happened, but football fans have been celebrating ever since.
It was around that time that a law was repealed allowing sports to be played on Sundays. I don't know if that was a state-by-state thing or a federal thing.
Probably a state-by-state thing.
Yeah.
In 1936, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge opened up as President Roosevelt pressed a telegraph key in Washington, giving the green light to traffic. And in 1954, Ellis Island closed its doors after processing more than 12 million new Americans. President Benjamin Harrison ordered the creation of the facility in 1890 as the nation's first federal immigration center. It had been handled by the states up to then. Known as the Gateway to America, millions of Americans can trace their roots through Ellis Island. We had so many immigrants coming from Europe and other parts of the world at that time.
Yeah.
They decided to funnel them all right through there, and a lot of them said their first thing they saw of the new world, the promised land, was the Statue of Liberty as they entered New York Harbor there.
I wonder if that photo is taken from the Statue of Liberty. I'm sorry, that photo, we've looked at it 3 times this morning, but I'm just now noticing how cool it is. Like, how often do you see a photo of the New York skyline from that time? But also, you really see how big the ground grounds of Ellis Island are.
You ever get a chance, if you're in New York visiting sometime, take one of the Circle Line tours out to Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty. Yep. It's worth the trip.
That's on my bucket list
You can
now.
still walk through all the halls, and you can think about those millions of people that came through there at that time.
American history.
Yeah.
So cool.
All right, your turn.
Okay. Yeah. In 1979, President Jimmy Carter shut down oil imports from Iran after 66 Americans were taken hostage at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. He feared terrorists might launch attacks on oil tankers and refineries. In 1987, the American Medical Association issued a policy statement that said it was unethical for a doctor to refuse to treat someone because they tested positive for AIDS or HIV. And in 2004, Scott Peterson was convicted of murdering his wife, Lacey, and their unborn son, a case that captivated millions across America and saturated media coverage for almost 2 years. And in 2021, a judge ordered an end to a court order that had controlled the life and money of pop star Britney Spears for nearly 14 years.
Free Britney, I think they were calling back
right.
then. Well, for birthdays today, they include actor Ryan Gosling, who is 44 years old today. Actress Anne Hathaway turns 42. I really like her.
I love Anne Hathaway. Oh, she's awesome.
And Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Young is 79 years old today. Still out there doing his thing, too.
Yeah. To be fair, I like all these people. They're all really talented and good at what they do.
They sure are.
Yep. Okay, moving on now. It looks like we possibly have some rain in the forecast, as we've said over and over again this morning, though. We kind of wish there would be some more because the fire hazards are pretty severe right now.
That's right. It looks like things will actually be clearing up as we head into the evening, which will be great for people that want to check out the meteor shower tonight.
Good point.
Maybe one more day this week where we might get a little bit of rain, but not that serious, consistent drenching rain that we really need.
Yeah, it's not frigid though, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until Wednesday at around the noon time frame because of active surf that will be expected in those areas during that time. Meanwhile, on land this morning, as expected, we have some rain showers that are passing through this morning, tracking from the west. And going toward the east, some cold air will also be wrapping in, so that may cause a few of these to change over to a few snowflakes before it clears out of here later on this morning. Let's zoom things out right now. We have the area low pressure located right about in here, tracking off to the east. We'll get this out of here, and then later this afternoon, things will start to calm down under that mostly cloudy sky. So here's what we got. A few more rain and snow showers calming down later this afternoon and into the evening time frame. Just still, the gusty winds will linger later on tonight into parts of Wednesday morning. As for the winds out there, we got gusty winds reaching up to 35 miles per hour at times. Notice those gusty winds continue overnight as well. They'll gradually start to calm down as we head towards tomorrow. But for today, here's what we got. Mid-40s, some morning rain and snow showers, then becoming mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, with that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s, becoming mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing that mostly cloudy sky with a little bit less cloud cover for the afternoon as the rain and snow showers wrap up for the afternoon. Temperatures falling this afternoon into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Temps are kind of hovering around the same point all day.
So mild.
Yeah.
I remember plenty of times this time of year, we've already had snow by this time.
Right.
There's ice forming, and
I know.
You know, I was out mowing the lawn the other day.
I know.
So,
those kids at the Veterans Day Parade were in T-shirts.
Yeah, they probably will be in February too.
I know.
Main kids.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, a local veteran is hoping you can make his birthday wish come true. Ed Hendrickson, a brewer, will turn 104 years old this week, and in honor of that milestone, he's asking for donations to the Bangor Humane Society.
As Jody Hersey tells us, his birthday fundraiser was inspired by a pair of brothers who volunteer in the Bangor community.
How are you doing? Good. How are you doing? Good. World War II veteran Ed Hendrickson and 11-year-old twin brothers Don and Frankie Venziano have participated in the Bangor Brewer 4th of July and Veterans Day parades for the past few years. Their connection has actually grown into a sweet friendship. In fact, Hendrickson says it was the brothers and their volunteer work at Coles Museum and the Bangor Humane Society that inspired him to create an online fundraiser to benefit the Humane Society for his upcoming 104th birthday.
I love kids, and your two children I happen to be fond of because they were in the same parade that I was.
My sons say it's actually Hendrickson who is the true inspiration.
I think we should be more inspired by him than he should be inspired by us.
When Hendrickson turned 103 last year, he received more than 6,000 birthday cards. This year, instead of cards, he would like to see people donate a few dollars to his Ed for Pets fundraiser by his birthday on Thursday, November 14th.
It would be nice if we could reach $5,000 at least.
Over $2,000 has been raised so far. Catherine Ravenscraft says the Bangor Humane Society and nonprofits everywhere benefit from the generosity of people like Ed Hendrickson.
The idea is just to raise as much money as possible in tribute to Ed for making it to 104 and for serving his country so selflessly.
Those who would like to contribute can find the link for Ed's fundraiser on the Bangor Humane Society's Facebook page. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And I hear I'm going to get to meet Ed later on this week.
Yeah, Ed's coming in on Thursday with Catherine Ravenscraft of the Bangor Humane Society, and we're going to have our Pet of the Week with Ed.
Awesome. So we'll talk more about that special fundraiser going on. Hey, by the way, before we take the break, I told you earlier I was struggling to find good history for this day. I found one that's interesting, though. I keep looking for him. Where the heck is it? In 1859, the first flying trapeze act was performed by Jules Léotard at Cirque Napoleon in Paris, France. He was the designer of the garment that is now named after him. So you can thank him for leotards.
Thank you, Jules.
Aren't you glad I brought that up? So
yes, that's the good news.
All right.
Thank goodness.
Now we're going to send it over to the sports guys for all the day sports news.
It is even sweeter the second time around. Welcome back in, everyone. Thanks for staying with us for the second straight year. Maine women's soccer is heading to represent the Pine Tree State in the Division I NCAA tournament. The Black Bears punching their ticket Sunday evening with a 3-0 win over rival New Hampshire. Maine wins their second consecutive America East title, and they earn a trip to Wisconsin to play the 5th-seeded Badgers in the first round. That game Friday at 8 p.m. Last year, Maine made the trip to Boston in the first round of the tournament to play Harvard. They fell to the Crimson, but that experience, plus playing a Big Ten school early this fall, should pay off this weekend.
Taking last year was definitely a step in the right direction. We're a more experienced, more mature team. We kind of know the protocol, and we're going to take it like we've taken every game this season, which seems to have worked well.
And we saw Rutgers early this year as a Big Ten opponent, and I think we were really able to sort of impose our identity early in that game, but we definitely learned some stuff from that game and also playing in the national tournament last year.
The Black Bears cap off their repeat conference tournament title after winning the first America East regular season championship in program history. Last season, it was more of an underdog story for Maine. They weren't the top seed, but this year they say they had a target on their back all year, but they spent more time chasing rather than defending that title.
We weren't really defending a title as we were chasing another one. It's a new season, new team, and so new goals as well, and some of that was also making it past the first round of the national tournament. So yeah, we're excited for this opportunity to hopefully reach that goal.
Last year we were a bit of an underdog story, but this year there was a target on our back, but we really made a big point of chasing, not defending a title. You know, we wanted to go after it just like we did last year.
Let's stay with college soccer now, and for the first time in 15 years, the Husson Eagles are heading to the NCAA Division III Women's Soccer Tournament. The Eagles defeated SUNY Delhi on Saturday afternoon 4-0 to win the North Atlantic Conference Championship game. Kate Harriman had 2 goals in the contest. They drew NYU in the first round of the NCAA. To the Big Apple they go. The Eagles already played the Violets this season in their non-conference schedule, so now they know exactly what to expect.
When we do our non-conference schedules, I seek out the best competition we can find. And we knew going into the year that having the chance to play a team like NYU would be a real test for us. But I want them to be faced with that level of competition for this exact moment, knowing that when we get to the NCAA tournament, it's not going to be easy.
We know they're strong, we know that they're good. Nothing unexpected though, so we're going to try this week to kind of cater our training towards what we could expect.
The Eagles head into the tournament on an 8-game winning streak. Husson did not allow a single goal the entire postseason, and now they say they're a much different team than they were in September when they lost to NYU, and they are ready for round 2.
The team has really found their chemistry. Our seniors and older players have really found their stride, and our younger players that have gained this full season of experience going into this tournament are ready to play at this level now.
Good luck to them. That game at 11 a.m. Saturday. To some football now. The Patriots picking up their third win of the season on Sunday in Chicago, and really it was never much of a game at all. The Patriots and third overall pick Drake May dominating the Bears and first overall pick Caleb Williams on Sunday to a tune of a 19-3 victory. The Pats D sacking Williams a total of 9 times. New England is now just 1 win away from matching their season total from a year ago. Drake May had another solid day. He threw a touchdown in the second quarter to fellow rookie Jalen Polk. And don't look now, but New England has now won 2 of their last 3 games.
It's always good to come in here after a victory. I thought the guys really answered the challenge that we had all during the week.
Phones down, notepads down real quick. Just clap it up for the defense, man. They get after you, mix up shell, mix up coverage, mix up blitz packages. It was pretty cool to watch.
A big day for that Pats defense. Staying with football now, it was another great weekend for the UMaine Black Bears. Maine coming away with a 38-26 victory over the Bryant Bulldogs. The Black Bears dominated the first half, getting off to a quick 35-0 start behind 4 touchdowns from quarterback Carter Peavy early on. With the win, the Black Bears are now 5-5 on the season. Compare that to the last 2 seasons where they won 4 games combined, and they are miles ahead of where they were last fall. With 2 games left, Maine has the chance to finish 500 or better, and head coach Jordan Stevens says that success is a result of the program trusting the process.
You know, having a process about us, having a standard of how we play, and believing in that, and having a standard in how we practice, and that process, and seeing that pay off on Saturdays with wins is certainly helpful, and much needed this year. We're so much of a operation that's 1 week at a time, but it's certainly recognizable that our players and our coaches have trusted that process.
Maine plays Elon Saturday at 2 p.m. It's their last road game of the regular season. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
The insurance company wants nothing more than to deny your claim.
Deny.
Meet John.
Delay.
The adjuster. He sticks
Deny.
to the 3 Ds.
Delay. Deny. No. Devalue.
And if he does have to pay, it's often with a very tiny check.
At first I was going to delay, and then I thought, no. Denied.
They called the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Maybe we should settle this one.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
You got this. 1, remember, I don't want surgery for my Dupuytren's contraction.
2, I want to be able to lay my hand flat.
3, I want a non-surgical recovery.
4, I want options, non-surgical options.
And 5,
And if non-surgical treatment isn't offered?
I'll get a second opinion. Let's go.
Take charge of your treatment. If you can't lay your hand flat, visit findahandspecialist.com to get started.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Unwind with a massage. Let me take away the stress of everyday life and allow you to fully relax. I offer Swedish, deep tissue, and prenatal massage. Healing Strength Massage in Bangor is your place for relaxing therapeutic massage.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
All right, now let's get one final look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until noon on Wednesday because active surf will be expected as we get some gusty winds going today. And those wave heights are increasing at around 3 feet according to the buoys, but farther out towards sea, we have 6 to even 9 feet being observed there. So we will have to watch that as we do move forward in time, as the wave heights will also be increasing for us. But meanwhile, here's what we got. We got rain showers tracking from the west and going toward the east this this morning along an area low pressure that is rotating through. It is pulling cold air in from the north, so that may help to change a little bit of this over to a little bit of snow before it does track off toward the east. Then things will start to calm down later on this afternoon, but the clouds will linger for the rest of the day. But notice the system right about in here. Notice a lot of nothing right behind it, so things will start to calm down for us once we get the system out of here. So futurecast moving forward, we'll be watching out for the last of the rain and snow to get out of here. The clouds break up later on today into parts of this evening, but the gusty winds, notice the isobars stay stacked, so that means gusty winds continue overnight tonight under that mostly clear sky, and even into parts of tomorrow morning. Watching out for a lot of sunshine, but still some gusty winds at times too, but those winds will gradually start to calm down slowly but surely throughout the day Wednesday, and then by Wednesday night a little bit calmer out there, but still maybe a little bit of a breeze at times as we remain relatively clear. So maybe a little bit of additional rainfall and maybe some melted down snow as this all passes through, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch further off towards the north of additional rainfall and melted down snow, but really that's about it. Nothing too major on the way from here on out. But again, we do have gusty winds to watch out for, and those could reach up to about 35 miles per hour, even 40 miles per hour at times. But then those gusts will start to back off a little bit later on tonight to about 25 miles per hour or so. But then notice those gusty winds continue tomorrow up to around 25 miles per hour at times. So otherwise, though, our average high temperature is 47 degrees. We've already hit our high temperature in the mid 40s or so today, but now we're going to be cooling off in the lower 40s or so for the rest of the day, and then maybe even some 30s later on this afternoon to the evening time frame. Well, then we remain in the lower 40s Wednesday into Thursday. Then Friday, we're back in the mid 40s. Saturday, upper 40s. Lower 50s return Sunday and also into your Monday. So your forecast coming up for today, middle 40s. We're going to cool off for the rest of the day too. Some morning rain and snow switching over to a mostly cloudy sky, and that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. We cool off into the mid 20s tonight, mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Tomorrow, lower 40s, lots of sunshine, also windy. North wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour at
Civil authorities have issued a required monthly test for all of Maine beginning at 8:55 a.m. and ending at 9:25 a.m. This is a coordinated monthly test of the emergency alert system for the state of Maine. If this were an actual emergency, official information would follow the alert tones.
Is driving a new Hyundai. And now you can get a great deal on your favorite model at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Plus, every Hyundai is backed by America's Best Warranty. Hurry to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event before this offer ends. Make your next getaway your best one yet. Get an all-wheel drive Santa Fe for 1.99% APR for up to 72 months, or lease for $269 a month. Hurry in.
Why do couples choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
I need it a little cool.
And I need it a lot of cool.
Sleep Number does that.
Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. 9 out of 10 couples sleep better. And now the Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $9.99. Shop a Sleep Number store near you.
At WKIT in the 90s, things were a little different. Now we take the rock very seriously. Still clowning around decades later. 100.3 WKIT. WKIT HD, Brewer, Bangor.
We have 30,000 ways to thank our loyal fans.
Courtroom leader, the judge.
Win one of 3 $10,000 cash prizes.
You just won the game, guys!
It's the 30K Thanks Arama giveaway.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Members of the Canoe City Swim Club spent their day at the Old Town YMCA, participating in the organization's first ever swim-a-thon. The group of nearly 40 athletes ranging in ages from 6 to 18 swam laps in the Herb Sargent Family Therapeutic Pool for 24 hours straight. The aquatics director and head coach for Canoe City Swim Club, Taylor Rogers, says in addition to helping raise money for the swim program, The swim-a-thon also gives athletes a chance to bond and reach some personal milestones.
It's just a really great opportunity for the team to come together, work hard to accomplish a goal, and learn early in the season how to support each other, lift each other up, be a good teammate, and also to work hard together to achieve that common goal.
The group hopes to raise about $12,000 through the event. For more information on the Canoe City Swim Club and how to donate, go to our website, foxbangor.com.
Very nice.
Yeah, looks like we're running out of time now. If you missed anything, you can head to foxbangor.com.
We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Today on 25 Words or Less, easily one of the stars of the High School Musical franchise, it's Corbin Blue. And joining Corbin are childhood friends Erica and Zakia. He's been a spokesman for 7